There is nothing in this world that you can say and not have other people disagree with you. I accept that. I do what I do, and I'm on this channel doing what I do because I pretty much understand that. People want to use their, because of how they feel, or maybe they are hurt by something, or they disagree with someone, they want to use that to judge every aspect of that situation. Like, let's say, for example, R. Kelly. Now, for what he did, obviously, we expect that some people would be hurt by all his actions. I mean, he's in jail for that. But if we are having an argument, for an example, about the greatest R&B of all time, R&B artist of all time, and someone mentions R. Kelly, it doesn't mean then that argument is not valid because you are hurt by the other aspects of him. And the person who's mentioning him, I'm sure they understand too that obviously this person is like this, or like they did all these bad things, but then it's still true that he's one of the greatest artists of all time. But I see that the world now is falling into the trap that because of how you feel about something, you want it to be wrong all the time, even when it's not. I'm saying this because of some of the comments, especially on Instagram, that I've received, you know. I'm cool with people saying whatever and disagreeing with me, that's fine, you know. But there's just no need for people to go like and swear at you, but it's fine too. I actually welcome that, actually. At least people are engaging, even if you swear, it's okay. But I just want you to understand, like, it's really, because I can tell how other people may be hurt by some of the things that I said. I don't know, man. How do I start this? Let's get to work. How do I start this? I have a couple of things that I'm going to talk about today in my mind. But today's episode, let me just call it the closer. This is a closer for the year. This is the episode that I'm going to do this year. So I would like to thank everyone first. Let me thank everyone, actually, who subscribed to my channel and gave me support by pressing the like button, and some people started commenting, actually, which is recent, actually, where people started commenting on the recent videos that I've done. So thank you to those people. Actually, it helps me a lot. Your contributions go very far, right? I had a plan, by the way. So my plan is, I'm still gonna do this, but let me just say that I'm still gonna do this. I am going to give, guys, I don't have money as much, you know, as much as I have money, but not that much. But I am going to give, I want to give data to people, actually, who are commenting on my page. So if you comment on this video below, I'm going to buy you airtime. You know, my plan initially was to get 50 Rand airtime to the first 20 comments that I'm gonna get. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna do that. So 50 Rand airtime to the first 20 comments. So the first 20 people to comment on this video itself, I'm going to give them like 50 Rand airtime, just as a data thing, you know, because I know in South Africa data is very expensive. Specifically, I'm saying this because many people and many things I talk about and things that I cover are specifically about South Africa, of course, because I'm South African and I'm from South Africa. So that's what I want to do. But if I don't get as many people to comment, I mean, come on, I am willing to give 100 Rand to the 10 people who would comment, or whoever's going to comment, you know. So it would depend how many people will be commenting on this video. Now, and yeah, this is my appreciation, I mean, to the people who subscribing and supporting the channel. When I started this, I didn't know. I just did it, actually, because why not, you know, because me and my friend were having a lot of conversation, and he thought I should have a channel because we once had a channel when we were in varsity, and then now he was suggesting that I should have a channel because we always have like fruitful conversations, you know. And we thought, let's do it, you know, let's do it. Then I was like, hey man, I have nothing to lose, let me do this. And then somehow it started working out. So I'm very grateful that it is working out now, pretty much, okay? So I'm grateful for that. So I'm going to be trying to give whatever that I can to the people who are subscribing to the channel. With that being said, Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope everyone is at home and everyone is enjoying their time with their families. I hope everyone is good, man. Merry Christmas to everyone, to the people who are supporting my channel. So let's get to work. On other things, guys, there is nothing in this world that you can say and not have other people disagree with you. I accept that. I do what I do, and I'm on this channel doing what I do because I pretty much understand that. There's nothing you can say in this world and not have an opposing view. No matter how correct you think you are, there's nothing you can say. So some people some people don't understand that, especially maybe on Instagram, like the comments there, like people don't get that. I understand that there's another view to whatever I say here. Now, I don't regret anything I say here. It's how I feel at the time. Might change, might not, I don't know, right? I don't regret anything, So I say the things as I see them. I don't filter myself or not express my view. I don't do that. I say everything as I say it and as I believe it to be in my reality. Now, your reality might be different because people have that. Especially now, people also, there's this thing in this world. I don't know why we're like this for some reason. Okay. People want to use their, because of how they feel, or maybe they are hurt by something, or they disagree with someone, they want to use that to judge every aspect of that situation. I'm saying this because of some of the comments, especially on Instagram, that I've received, I'm cool with people saying whatever and disagreeing with me. That's fine. But there's just no need for people to go and swear at you. But it's fine too. I actually welcome that. Actually, at least people are engaging. Even if you swear, it's okay. But I just want you to understand, it's really, because I can tell how other people may be hurt by some of the things that I said. I don't know, man. But to me, it's really not that personal. I'm just expressing my views, If you think about it like this, the thing that I'm trying to refer to is, let's think about, let's say, for an example, R. Kelly, if you were to have a debate about R. Kelly. Now, for what he did, obviously, we expect that some people would be hurt by all his actions. I mean, he's in jail for that. That's obvious and reasonable, right? But if we are having an argument, for an example, about the greatest R&B of all time, R&B artist of all time, and someone mentions R. Kelly, it doesn't mean then that argument is not valid because you are hurt by the other aspects of him. And the person who's mentioning him, I'm sure they understand too that obviously this person is like this, or they did all these bad things, but then it's still true that he's one of the greatest artists of all time. But I see that the world now is falling into the trap that because of how you feel about something, you want it to be wrong all the time, even when it's not, or you don't want to reward it or what's not. I don't know what is the idea, It's like the truth, guys. Things, you cannot change facts. It's facts that R. Kelly is one of the greatest R&B artists of all time. Just as much as this is a fact that he's an abusive man and he deserves to be in prison. So all those things can happen simultaneously. But people have a tendency that when they don't like something, or they feel in some type of way about something, then they will rather pretend. I don't know if you are even pretending or you are lying to yourself when you are saying someone like R. Kelly is not one of the greatest R&B artists of all time. I'm making this as an example, right? That's how the world works now. It's because now this has happened, we have to disregard everything about it and disregard facts. R. Kelly can't be in the top 10 of greatest R&B artists of all time, which is but he still is, factually. I understand that you don't want to reward him and you don't want him in the top 10, but factually, he is. Now, how I feel about it is insignificant, So I feel like we are in this world whereby people tend, I don't know how, but they tend to fall to this trap when they, people tend to fall in this trap when they are hurt by something or they disagree with something to the point that they just want to disagree. They don't want to see anything other than what they're disagreeing with. Okay, so this is just something that I'm noting from the comments that I'm getting myself, that people are falling to that trap. Actually, I understand it, guys. There's nothing you can say, I repeat, in this world there's nothing you can say and not have an opposing view. Nothing. You can say everyone in the world deserves to go to sleep with food in their stomach. Everyone deserves to eat. Someone out there will say, nah, not everyone deserves to eat. People who earned the right to eat deserve to eat. Now what? People in prison don't deserve to be treated nicely and given food like everyone else. Now what? There's always an opposing view. No matter how correct you think your view is, there's always an opposing view. That's what I've learned very early on. And I'm not surprised that people are disagreeing with me or what's not. Especially about things that are so controversial. And I mean, politics, because I talk politics and social issues. I mean, so you would have opposing view when it comes to that. The reason I'm saying all this, because I don't understand why people follow, like, to text me directly, trying to get to me. Man, it's okay. Keep it on the comment section, bro. You don't have to find me for that. This is okay. You know, say whatever you want to say, and I'm good with it. Even if you swear to me, it's fine. It's okay. Actually, I don't mind that. But I just wanted to pass that on. So everything I say here, I mean to say it based on how I feel and what I think at the time about the things that I say. That's just all. Now, let's go. Jeez, man. Actually, I thought I'm not gonna do this episode. And one of the reasons that I thought I'm not gonna do this episode it's because, bro, it's been a busy couple of weeks. And I've been taking too many L's, man. Damn. I've been taking L's left and right, bro. I've been taking L's these couple of weeks. I don't know what. Everything I'm involved in is just not working out for whatever reason. I've been taking L's left and right. I don't even know. I thought I'm not going to do this episode now or anytime soon, actually. Because of the amount of L's I've been taking recently. And the only thing where I'm not taking L's, surprisingly, is my stock holdings. My stocks are doing amazing things. For whatever reason, money-wise, I never have issues. It's always life things and other things that just, give me a lot of L's, like just life, man, and things happening, whether work-wise, personal life, all type of things happening in life. But I've been collecting L's, and I don't know how I got around finally to come here to do this episode. But anywho, that's a long introduction, Today, I have a couple of things that I want to address. Some things that I was asked to address. Apparently, I didn't address this enough. The first thing I want to talk to is the Spaza shops. I want to address the Spaza shop issues that we've been having in South Africa. I see, and this is another thing, bear this in mind again. How I feel like is insignificant to the facts, right? To the facts is insignificant. So I want to stick to things that are factual. And then here and there, I'm going to speculate on my own opinion, of course. Maybe my feelings too about things. But how I feel like is insignificant to the facts about issues. So I'm trying to stick to that idea. Because many people tend to mix how they feel like with reality and facts and how things are supposed to be done. So I'm going to try to avoid that by all means. Now, one question that people have been on me about is, Mlondi, what is your opinion on the Spaza shop issues in South Africa? What is the issue? Okay, the issue is people are saying, of course, it's been on the news, which began January this year, actually. There is reports it started January of 2024. 441 cases that are reported on food contamination, mainly affecting kids age of 6 to 10, and 23 kids died from this issue, Spaza shops selling expired goods, old stuff and what's not. 23 kids died, and 441 cases are open, right, regarding food contamination. Cool. Okay. One thing that I was curious about was it's so interesting to me how this issue was just so much on the news, but which made me start to pay attention, to the issue is these issues seem to be happening in particular areas, though, like spaces. So the places here that I found where this issue, that all these reports are coming from, is Ekurhuleni, Joburg, and West Rand. So these areas are like Gauteng areas. So the province that's really having this hard is Gauteng. But the way it is reported, it was almost like it's more like a pandemic everywhere in the country. But now looking into it, it's just that it's all over the news. But now looking into it, it's only in Gauteng, really, where this is happening, more than any other place in South Africa. Any other places still have foreigners who are selling goods and Spaza shops and what's not, but it's mostly Gauteng that is having this issue with kids dying and what's not, and the reports of these cases. So about 80 to 90% of the cases are from Gauteng. So the problem is in Gauteng, rather than the problem being all over the country. Okay, there's some reports in Cape Town, right? But it's not as significant, really, to a point whereby one will say it's a pandemic, So I just want to stick to that as facts. But then I'm interested as to why is it reported so much like as this big pandemic? I'm not sure, really. It's still bad. I'm not going to lie. But I'm thinking, because why also now? Because this has been going on for some time. For a longest time, actually, in South Africa, we've had foreigners, makula, as people will say, selling fake products, especially cool drinks and snacks, fake products. They've been doing this for a longest time. But only recently then this is causing kids to die and all these cases that are being opened. And only recently it's covered so much by the media. And the way it is represented is as if like it's a problem, a big issue, like in the whole of South Africa in terms of kids dying. It's a big issue in terms of the fake goods for sure. Because in the whole of South Africa, coolers are selling fake goods. That's for sure. I've been almost everywhere in SA. Like coolers are selling fake products. They make it themselves. How they get it in the country, the ones that they receive in the country, the ones they receive in the country, I have no idea. Right? Cool. So that was one thing that I started noticing when I was checking up on the Spaza shops. Now, because of how people feel, and they are hurt by this, obviously, people want foreigners to be chased out of South Africa. Now, this is where things get tricky, right? Because it sounds easy to say that, right? To just chase them away and stuff like that. And mostly it's because most South Africans are not well-traveled. So they don't understand that actually we have South Africans out of South Africa. I was checking stats the other day. We have almost 200 and something thousand people living in the United States, and other hundreds and hundreds of thousands of South Africans living in Asian countries. So South Africans also do go outside of the country, right? Now, if you think about it like that, there's so many international relation issues that you have to consider if you are talking about closing all the shops and taking people away because they are foreigners. Also, another aspect is trying to block them from opening businesses in South Africa because they are foreigners and you want to open the markets for South Africans. I understand it. I get it. I mean, come on, bro. I get it. I get the issue. But as a matter of rules and laws of trades internationally, that's not how you do it, right? You cannot punish everybody for a few people who are doing the wrong things in South Africa. Because now you're going to chase away people who are not involved even in these cases, right? You have someone where the kids died and what's not. It's okay. Close the shop. Do what you have to do. But this is not then to mean everybody has to be chased away from South Africa as a result. Must be careful around that. There's so many issues such as international law, global trade and diplomacy, international political economy. There's just so many things, right? Cultural issues. There's so many things in terms of international relations that you can touch when you do that. And remember again, South African business and South Africans also live overseas. right? I say this because I remember also how it was like for me when I first started moving from South Africa and like living overseas. Like I remember how I'll be characterized in the same basket as just African as everybody else. Like I'm a Nigerian here, I'm a Ghanaian here, as much as I'm South African. To them, it's just the same thing. So whatever Nigerians do, it just affects me the same way because the perception is Africans doing that. So I know how wrong this is, this line the South Africans are trading right now off just because maybe some coolers in Gauteng are doing these bad things. Then you want to punish all the coolers in the country and you want to make their lives hard and stuff like that. So there are issues there. It doesn't work like that. Just as much as South Africans too have rights outside of South Africa in other countries, that they cannot just have their businesses closed because some Nigerians or some other South Africans are fucking up. You see? So it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So that issue. And also, trading, basically, like all these Spaza shops and stuff like that, internationally, there should be some sort of fairness to it when we are trading our skills. So you can't just say, because something is happening, and then you want to punish everybody when it comes to these guys. So I'm very careful around those things. I think people are just mixing up things, understandably, for sure, because people are hurt. I can understand, right? And people are saying local people cannot compete and what's not. Again, failing to compete in the markets, bruh, the truth is the world is, it's a globe now. So it's just globalization everywhere. So you are going to have to compete internationally, one way or the other, or you're going to go under. That's just it when it comes to that. Of course, the ones who are breaking the rules should actually be taken to jail. Now, another thing, so Ramaphosa passed in like a bill of some sort to get all the Spaza shop have to be registered now. And people are not happy that some South Africans are helping these foreigners to be registered and whatnot and whatnot. I don't think the issue too was legislation, to begin with. This wasn't the issue. And we keep doing these type of things in SA whereby we fix policy instead of dealing with the actual issue. Going to change policies there on the books doesn't change the issue on the ground. You know, all of a sudden, only now they are thinking of having inspectors. Now we have inspectors inspecting Spaza shops. Where were the inspectors all along? Where were they? Why didn't we have that? Because we should have had inspectors anyway. Why are we having inspectors now? You see, those type of things about SA, you know. So inspection, true. We should have that. And I'm glad to see that there are inspectors everywhere now in the country inspecting Spaza shops. And that's what we should have had to tackle the issue. Policy and all these things, but I wasn't really flabbergasted by that. How could I be surprised by that? No, I wasn't. Like, it's expected that Ramaphosa would do something like that, and or the government to try and fix legislation and create rules and of regulations. It's the issue is on the ground. That's where the issue was. And I thought having inspectors and having the Spaza shop registered, cool. But are we going to have people who are present there? Like the inspections, are they going to be followed up all the time? And don't let it loose a year later. Now, with that being said, I saw another inspector inspecting a Spaza shop. When this inspector was inspecting a Spaza shop, he was telling the Spaza owner, like, not to put, you know, those plastic bags that we use for our snacks. They were telling the guy, because the guy would take out the sugar from the big sugar packets, and then he would put into these small plastic things. And the inspector was telling him he shouldn't do that, you know, with the food, to take it out from its original package and put it out and repackage it himself. That is not allowed. He shouldn't do that. You know, I saw that and I thought to myself, people are agreeing with this idea. That's true. I get it. You know, yeah, why are you repackaging this? Because this is how we get sick and what's not. I get it. But people forget. This another thing. South Africans sometimes, because we live in different worlds. People forget that repackaging of that sugar is a result of affordance. People being unable to afford. Some South Africans unable to afford a bag of sugar that is worth 15, 20 rand. And then they are able to buy the 5 rand things or 2 rand things that they are sold in these small pockets. That's how the business happened. The reason this guy is having that is because people cannot afford. They prefer to buy that small thing instead of buying a pocket of sugar that is worth 20 rand. That's the real issue here. Now you can shout and pretend, why are you repackaging this? At the end of the day, the reason of repackaging is because you cannot afford the actual price of the sugar. We are not living in the first world country, guys. Let's not get things twisted, right? It's still live in South Africa. This is still the third world country. We have so many issues when it comes to that. So many things. It's easy now for South Africans to just, jump on the game and just chase the Spazas away. It's easy, but there's so many issues that I had for me. I think also because I live overseas, I understand international relations. Maybe this is why I have this different take about this, and I'm careful on jumping on to say, all the Spaza should go, because I look at the facts. The fact is, the issues are in Gauteng, Ekurhuleni, Gauteng generally, Joburg, Ekurhuleni, and what was the name? The West Rand. That's where the issues are. Not the whole of South Africa as it is presented. But then I've been wondering, why is it presented like to make me feel like this issue is in the whole of South Africa? I've been wondering about that. Then I asked myself, actually, I wouldn't be surprised because I know the game, bro. Hey, I know this game, dog. I know the game. I would not be surprised if ShopRite is behind the agenda that is being pushed around Spaza shops. I would not be surprised if ShopRite is pushing ShopRite USave into the Spaza shop space. I would not be surprised. I would never be surprised by that. It's the game, bro. The issue on the Spaza shop, I say it again, is specifically in Gauteng, but it is presented like it's a big South African issue on the Spaza shop. I see that, and I'm wondering, why is it so? How many kids died? 23. Big number, and it's terrible, and I'm sorry to those families that's lost their kids. This is a bad thing, right? 441 cases reported. Bad. Terrible. I understand. I get this. But it's not really a South African issue, really. It's specifically in Ekurhuleni, Joburg, and West Rand. Mostly. That's where the issue is. About 80% to 90% of the cases are around that area. For whatever reason. But the issue is being on the news like this and the propaganda around it. I would not be surprised if ShopRite USave or ShopRite is pushing ShopRite USave into the space. I would never be surprised. I would never. I know where my money is, bro. I know this game, dog. All I know, I have stocks in ShopRite. I know this game. I see this thing. I would not be surprised because I've seen where ShopRite USave is moving into. How ShopRite USave is moving, it's almost Boxer-like. ShopRite USave is designed to compete with stores like Boxer in a way. Now ShopRite has acquired Pick n Pay, and Pick n Pay is a mother company for Boxer, and they acquire. So now Pick n Pay basically is going to be taken by the ownership of ShopRite, and then ShopRite has acquired Spar Liquor Store. Bro, they're monopolizing this space, bro. For me, this is how I see it, bro. I see it like that. Like, they're just monopolizing the whole space. If they're gonna take a Pick n Pay, and Pick n Pay is a mother company of Boxer, because I heard the Boxer apparently Pick n Pay is not gonna be selling Boxer with the trademark for Pick n Pay. Apparently, it's gonna be made into different entities. But I don't know if it's gonna stay like that, or ShopRite is gonna acquire both Pick n Pay and Boxer as the same entity. Because Pick n Pay is the mother company again of Boxer. So I'm not sure about that. But they're acquiring this space, and now you wanna tell me that the Spar Liquor Store is gonna be under ShopRite. You are telling me that Pick n Pay is going to be under ShopRite, possibly Boxer, although Boxer apparently is outside, but possibly it's going to be under ShopRite. And ShopRite, the way they are moving with ShopRite, with USave, and with the Boxer there, I wouldn't be surprised if they're targeting the space in the Spaza shops. I would not be surprised by that, because I know where my money is. My money is with ShopRite, bro. I know where my stock is, man. I know. I don't know, guys. If you don't do stocks, bro, the stocks to buy is ShopRite stock, bro. ShopRite is about to blow, bro. They're about to go up for sure. If you want to buy stocks, you should be on ShopRite. Otherwise, bro, I don't know what you're doing, bro. If you're doing stocks and you're not on ShopRite, I have no idea. Anywho, let's move. So, for me, at least, that's how I was seeing the particular issue, is that ShopRite is just monopolizing the space, and I can tell that they are taking over the space, specifically with the idea that they are acquiring Pick n Pay, and also they are acquiring Spar Liquor Store. For me, it says a lot about ShopRite and how they are just taking over in the space. With that being said, then I'm wondering if they are not involved, like in pushing the agenda, which is quite obvious for me now, the agenda around the Spaza shop thing, or maybe making it even bigger than what it is. That's how I feel. Because so far, when I check the facts around these issues, because it's big, man, we have this issue about Spaza shops, which is surprising to me, because the issue has been there for some time. It's surprising that now we have kids that are dying from this. Because the issue of fake goods, especially from Spaza shop, is an old game, bro. Schoolers have been doing whatever they want in this space, and as South Africans, we take time to stand for things that we believe in, or we have values, for example, that we hold, and sentiments that we hold about certain issues. We are very easy, for whatever reason. I've been saying this, that we let too many things happen to us and we are passive as a society. We are not active. There isn't activism in South Africa. It's like anyone can come over and take over all the time. I've been raising this issue in regards to that. Anyway, let me move from this issue. Another question here that's been asked a lot that I'm going to deal with. This is a question about Eskom. So, I'm going to say something. Maybe, again, guys, I'm saying this thing, I keep repeating myself in this regard. It doesn't matter how I feel like personally about the issues. Everything I'm saying right now is, I'm saying these things as a matter of fact, in terms of how I feel or see them, right? For an example, personally, like myself, because of where I'm from and the things, my community, I understand the struggles in that sense. But South Africa right now cannot afford to do charity with Eskom. We just cannot afford to do charity with Eskom. It doesn't matter what happened, who took what money and stuff like that. That's irrelevant now. We are here. And it's just the truth of the matter. We cannot afford to do charity with Eskom. It's just as simple as that. If you cannot afford, you're not going to have electricity. If we want to progress as a country, right? You can argue whatever you want. Then what about poor people? I get it, because I'm from there. I'm even feeling bad that I have to say these things, given the hood that I'm from, because I know we never paid for electricity. Even in my home, we're not paying for electricity. People are preaching everywhere, bro. People couldn't afford paying for electricity. I remember even when my dad started preaching Eskom power at home for some time. This thing happened everywhere in the hood. Everywhere. There's no house that I know where people are paying for electricity. There isn't. Everywhere in the hood, right? But the truth of the matter is, despite how I feel because we are poor, we from this. Despite that, this is my community. The truth remains. South Africa is not in a space to play charity with Eskom. There's just no charity with power right now, at least. Now, that's the reality. And it's irrelevant how I feel about it. Right? That's the reality. If you cannot afford to have electricity, I'm sorry, man, you're going to struggle, though. The other means, you have to have a Prama stove. I don't know what you do, but other means, there will have to be other means. Try gas, try whatever, but South Africa cannot play charity with electricity. Now, but I want to deal with this thing. How did we get ourselves here to begin with? Now that we're even talking like this, how did we get here? That's the question. How did we get here? How did South Africa get to the point whereby we had about load shedding and we couldn't sustain anything? It's been rough in South Africa. I beg rough. In South Africa, I beg shubile poison. How did we get ourselves in that space? That's what I want to deal with. At least what we know, actually, as to how did we get ourselves here. Okay, I remember, for me, when I started understanding the issues with Eskom was with Mr. Brian Molefe, especially in the, what was that thing? The commission that we had, the Zondo commission that we had, when they were looking at the states capture commission with Zondo, when we were looking at that. This is when I started to pay attention to what were the issues, okay? Now, this is what Brian Molefe said, actually, hence we got here. So there's a company, and this company is Glencore, right? It was accused by Brian Molefe, who was like the CEO of Eskom. It was accused for selling a ton of coal for $70 to $80 per ton, right, to Eskom, while selling to overseas markets a ton of coal for how much? $40 to $50. So to Eskom, a ton of coal is $70 to $80, but to overseas market is $40 to $50. Glencore is a company in South Africa that is mining coal, by the way, that is doing this. Now the question is, how was Glencore allowed to do that? How did we get that with Glencore? How is it that this company was able to do that? Who was allowing Glencore to even be able to do that? So how were they doing this, right? Who was allowing them to do this? This is also according to the state capture information, by the way. I want to bring this back so we remind ourselves. So how were they allowed to do this? According again, which was alleged by Brian Molefe in state capture, was Ramaphosa, right, was alleged to have shares in Glencore. Some people were saying about 10%. Nobody knows. So this is just alleged, right? To have shares in Glencore while he was an overseer of Eskom as a deputy president. So Ramaphosa was a deputy president of the ANC, right, and the country. And he was an overseer of Eskom, right, the business in Eskom. Basically, the CEO of Eskom, which is Brian Molefe, and everyone in Eskom were answering to who? President Ramaphosa, right? Cool. So they are answering to President Ramaphosa as an overseer of Eskom, while he has shares in Glencore, and he is pushing, allegedly, by Brian Molefe during state capture. Ramaphosa was pushing for Glencore to be prioritized, the contract, this forever contract of 100 years and 99 years, to be signed and keep Glencore manipulating Eskom, basically, because with the prices. Because they're selling $70 to $80 to Eskom, while they're selling to $40 to $50 per ton to international markets. And Brian Molefe is saying this is happening as a result of people like President Ramaphosa, who was deputy president then, who is an overseer here in Eskom. Meanwhile, they have shares in these companies like Glencore while abusing Eskom. So these are the people. So that's how we were getting there. Now, in state capture again. So the propaganda that was being pushed at the time was when Brian Molefe, the CEO of Eskom, right, when he was running Eskom, was that he is working with Optimum, right? Let me check. Yeah, Optimum Coal Holdings, right? Which is a company that was under Gupta's. So Optimum Holdings was a coal company that was being ran by Gupta's, right? So Brian Molefe was being alleged for having proximity to state capture and contributing to state capture with Eskom by working with Optimum Coal Holdings, right? Because it's a Gupta company. Correct. Now, but Brian Molefe was arguing the reason I end up having to work with these people of Optimum Coal Holdings is because Glencore is charging us way too much. On this side, we're going to get the price of 30 to 40 per ton, right? Whereas Glencore is charging 70 to 80, which is almost double the price for the same thing. But when they take these products to overseas markets, they don't charge that price. They're abusing us, right? So that was the main big issue that led to the collapse of Eskom. I will never forget that. Because now I see Ramaphosa is a darling and what's not. I will never forget that. So this was the main issue. First strike. How this thing was happening. That's, kept rolling to get Eskom to be in shambles and crumbling and the country falling. I will never forget that. It's easy. Glencore, Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa is an overseer at Eskom, but in the same time, he has shares in Glencore. Brian Molefe tries to dodge Glencore because they are selling to Eskom 70 to 80 tons. $70 to $80 per ton, while they are selling $40 to $50 per ton to overseas markets. So when Brian tries to run away from Glencore and try to work with Optimum Coal Holdings, they blame him for state capture. They're saying he's associated with state capture because the Optimum Coal Holding is under the Guptas. By the way, Optimum Coal Holding, before it was bought in 2015 by the Guptas, it was also a company that was under Glencore. The same company with S. Ramaphosa also was alleged of owning percentage to it. So this idea of Eskom, I still remember. I will never forget that. Another big issue that we had, because in South Africa we are not patriotic to the country. So Eskom was in so much shambles that people were getting themselves gigs in Eskom by breaking stuff that they know their companies are responsible for fixing in Eskom. So they will make sure that they make Eskom to be so dysfunctional that they keep coming back to fix things. So people were sabotaging Eskom. They were sabotaging things that they were fixing or responsible for in Eskom so that they can come back and fix. People were sabotaging the basically in terms of the mining industry. That's just a mafia thing. The mining things with the coal, they're not done. That's just mafias there. All mafias that side. So this issue, all these issues together with people sabotaging Eskom, breaking things so they can come back and fix it as their tenders, and people playing the game with the coal and stuff like that, led to what we have now, or where we ended up going through as a country, which was the load shedding that we had so bad. Another thing, again, which I also blame myself as part of the community, we don't pay for electricity, guys. We don't. Siya everywhere siya. We don't pay for electricity. Right now, for me, when I'm being asked and I'm seeing everything that is happening with electricity and Eskom and what's not, bruh, the truth is, at this point, bruh, like, we cannot play charity with Eskom, bruh, and power. We can't. The country cannot afford it. We know that we cannot afford it because we've been there. We've seen that. We're from there. We saw what load shedding can do. We know what is load shedding now. So we cannot play with Eskom ever again. This is not something to play with now. We know what it will mean for a country to play with things such as Eskom. Such a big and important enterprise for the country, for the survival of the country's economy. Otherwise, we're going to go under. If we are not careful as South Africans, we are going to go under, bro. That's what's going to happen. We're going to go under. We know now. We cannot play like that. We know. So if you cannot afford, bro, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, bro. I guess they will have to come take all the things in the hood, bro. That's what will have to happen if we want to have a country, though. I mean, if we do not want to have a country and we're not interested, we can keep going, preach, and do whatever this we do, but we're going to go back. And there's not going to be a way forward for some people. While some people make money, they're going to find ways. I know I'm going to be one of the people who find ways. One way or the other, my family will have electricity. The poor of the poor, though, they won't. They will not afford to find new means to move when things start happening. They're not going to be able to. And that's just the truth of the matter. We can decide how we want to deal with that as a country. We can decide that. If we want to have a country or we don't want to have a country in regards to Eskom. We know how we ended here. Now, with that being said, I want to move from this saga of Eskom, But that's what happened. And I was seeing now people are panicking left and right because apparently with the new system and people now are going to be caught that they were cheating and not paying for power and electricity for so long. And people are going to lose their meters now for electricity. Bruh. I'm sorry to say this. I have to repeat myself though. I'm sorry to say this again. It hurts me too. But South Africa cannot afford to play charity with Eskom and power. We're just not in the space to do charity with that. We're not in the space to do charity with Eskom. Whatever and however we feel about it, it hurts me too because I'm from such a poor community. I can imagine how people will feel about me saying this thing, but I have to say them out loud, bro. No matter how broke we are, bro, like, I know. I say it here. I don't know any house that didn't preach. I don't know any house in the hood that didn't preach electricity. I do not know it. Every house that I know has preached. That's just the truth. Okay. Let's move to the next one. This is the closer, people. As I said, Merry Christmas, everyone. And I'm closing the year with this one. Remember, guys, subscribe, press the like button, and all the good stuff. Now, another issue that many people were pushing for and asking me to comment on is around the Phala Phala saga. That's another issue that many people have been pushing for and asking me to comment on. It's the Phala Phala saga. That's what I'm going to go to now. I didn't say much about this saga actually when it was happening. I saw things, fine. I didn't say much actually. I touched on it here and there, but I never really got in deep into it or tried to analyze it and what's not. Cool. I want to say this though before I go to the Phala Phala saga. You might have maybe something against President Ramaphosa, like I do. There's so many things that I just disagree with. And to be fair, actually, especially in his first term, I thought he was a terrible president. Really, 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 he was bad. I mean, he presided over the downfall of the ANC. Let's be honest here. That was so bad, actually. So as a president, I just didn't find anything that was worth like having him as a president, as a country. Considering the Eskom issue that I've been talking about, his contribution there, I will never forget that. I will never forget how Brian Molefe was articulately so stating Ramaphosa's involvement in like allegedly basically putting down Eskom or trying to sell out Eskom to private enterprise. I will never forget that. How Brian Molefe was talking about his struggles trying to keep afloat with Eskom and trying to get coal wherever he could, and the mafias that are in that space of coal. I will never forget that. And his contribution, Ramaphosa, fagering Eskom basically with Glencore. I will never forget those things. But with that being said, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'd be lying to myself if I said this wasn't true. The JNU thing with Ramaphosa, for whatever reason, that shit kind of worked. To be honest, I didn't believe in it. I didn't think JNU is gonna work. I did not. So I have to agree when with the guy did well. The JNU thing, from where the country was, the JNU just landed, man. It worked. It worked for South Africa. And Ramaphosa was at the center of having that GNU to work like this. He's the presenter of the GNU. He's the president of the GNU government. I mean, he's the president, Ramaphosa, right? So it's kind of worked. So I have to give him credit where credit is due. And what confused me actually with this corruption thing, especially around Phala Phala and Ramaphosa, is this guy, Ramaphosa, has sent like a number of people to school, apparently. So many people have gotten their degrees funded by him. I don't understand that. So why corruption then? Like, I don't get it. If you're going to spend about 20, 50 million rands taking people to school, and then you steal the money, you steal 8 million on the others, that just doesn't make sense to me. It always confuses me why these people will do good things, some good things that they do, and also be as corrupt as they are. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if you look at the Phala Phala incident specifically with the buffaloes, the guy, whoever the person that he alleges bought buffaloes in his farm, he spends $500. That's like about 8 million to 9 million rands. That's not as much money compared to the money you spend taking people to school. I don't get it. Might as well just keep your money and not take people to school if you will have to do corruption later. That doesn't make sense to me. Ramaphosa have taken so many people to school. Actually, so many people have gotten education and degrees from him. He's helped a lot of people. So it doesn't make sense to me that the same person is the one with Phala Phala incident. I don't get it. Let's go back a little. So what happened in Phala Phala exactly? Apparently, okay, what has been on the news basically, and things that have been shared out there. This case is still in court in South Africa, by the way. Okay, apparently the lady who works for Ramaphosa, again, this is just allegedly, she had noted obviously that in his farm they keep money in the sofas and whatnot, right, in Ramaphosa's farm, and told some people that she knows outside, obviously, that in this place there's so much money and whatnot in foreign currencies, right? The money gets stolen, right? The 500,000, right? And the people who stole the money ran to Mozambique and ran to Swaziland or whatnot. But all I remember about is more about the people who ran to Mozambique, right? Cool. And instead of Ramaphosa opening a case on the people who stole his money in Phala Phala farm, he tells his security, he doesn't open the case officially in a police station like how you are supposed to be in South Africa. Okay. He tells his security and they communicate with people in Mozambique and whatnot. They're trying to catch the guys who stole the 500,000 US dollars, mind you, from his farm. Where was the US dollars? In the sofas in his farm. And this is where the money was stolen. And they tried to get these people and whatnot, and the people ran away with the money. And then, fast forward, apparently the the employee was fired and what's not. So many things happened, and obviously the thing got out. So it's got out from the people that were involved into the media and then into South Africa. Then everybody knows that in the president's farm in Phala Phala, people stole money, and the estimates of the money that was taken was 500,000 US dollars, the money that was there, which is equivalent to 8 million to 9 million rands, depending on the exchange rate at whatever time you check this. So this is the case, right? Now, so what are issues that we have here in regards to corruption? One, you are not allowed to trade in foreign currencies in South Africa. South Africa has its own currency of trade, which is the rand. So you are not allowed to trade in foreign currencies. Cool. Now let's say you've then broken this law, you've traded in foreign currencies. You are not allowed to keep money as 8 million, that is equivalent to 8 million or to 8 to 9 million rands, and not report that money to the treasury. Doesn't make sense. It's not reported in any bank that you have this money. It was not reported anywhere that you have this money. You didn't disclose the money that you have. You are not allowed in South Africa to do that. Keep 8 million to 9 million rands in your mattress or sofas and not report it. The money is illegitimately earned, and also the money is just of corruption. Now, what's another issue around this case is that the buffaloes that you are claiming the person was coming to buy with these dollars, the person from Dubai was coming to buy with these dollars. Actually, I forgot his name, but the buffaloes were never sent to him. The buffaloes were never sent to him. There were no buffaloes that left Phala Phala farm to go to Dubai or any other country in the Middle East, for that matter, in case you change and say, no, it's not this country, it's this place. No, there is no buffaloes that went to the Middle East after that person had allegedly left money in your farm and left, and after buying buffaloes. There is no buffaloes that were sent there. So it tells you about the level of corruption in this instance. So much corruption. There's just no ways around it. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay, if he says, the guy bought buffaloes with these US dollars, okay, fine, they bought buffaloes. That's a crime already because they spent that money. But another crime is, after then, they spent this money. You never reported the money anyway. So the whole thing is a crime. There's just no way around it. I mean, as a matter of fact, Ramaphosa wanted to resign after the incident. But the ANC people, then the top 5, convinced him to stay, particularly Blade Zimande. Right? They convinced Ramaphosa to stay, that they're going to defend him, we're going to find a way and fight this thing. Because they knew that their existence also themselves as the ANC depended so much on Ramaphosa. Because Ramaphosa has the backing of business. Business likes Ramaphosa. So he has that backing. So they knew that if Ramaphosa goes, the party is even in worse condition than it had been. So they needed him. They convinced him not to resign. But now we are in courts. I'm just disappointed by something, by the way. Oh, man. I wish it was another lawyer, bro. Another advocate defending Ramaphosa, bro. I cannot believe that it's advocate Mugai Toby. It just breaks my heart, bro. But again, the man is doing his job, bro. That's the law. It's so weird, actually. For me, I just feel the law. There's so many things that are just immoral in law that I just don't like. Makes me hate lawyers, actually, that thing. Just lawyers and this thing of law having to reside in morality and whatnot. Nah. It's just immoral. In law, bro, you defend corruption while knowing yourself that is corruption. You go there, defend something, even after they defend someone, even after they confess that they killed someone. But it's still your duty to get them as less punishment as possible, and if possible, get them acquitted of their crime. Right? They are just protected like that. You know, but again, Toby is doing he's doing his work, bruh. The man is working, but morality and law always have issues. There's so many things that are just immoral in law that I feel. It's also defeats. The idea also of morality just defeats when people talk under oath, those things, it just defeats that thing of having to have to state the truth because you are speaking under oath. What's the point of actually having that thing of you are under oath, so you cannot lie, but at the same time you are defending someone that has already confessed to the crime? For an example, law always confuse me with those things. You have a client, your client confesses a crime to you as a lawyer. They did the crime. Okay, of course you're not allowed to disclose that. You have to defend them. They have the right to that representation that you avail yourself to for them, right? Now the person that you go there, you defend and fight for this person under oath, knowing exactly they've done a crime. It just defeats the point. I don't get that, those type of things. So you are fighting for a person under oath, but they've done the crime already. Stupid, bruh. But anyway, it's low, bruh. It just feels so disappointed to have advocates Ngai Toby actually as the defendant for Ramaphosa in this case, right? So it is not on the news because as much as it should be, the Phala Phala issue. I think because someone was saying, why is it not on the news, Mlondi? Bruh, it's not on the news because Ramaphosa is aligned with business, bro. Ramaphosa is aligned with business. People who own the news, bro. People who own what is true, what is known to be true. Because the truth is just whatever that the majority believe in is portrayed as truth, right? More than what it is. It's no longer about facts. Who can drive the narrative? That's what matters now. And Ramaphosa is aligned with the people who drive the narrative in South Africa. And it's just the fact of the matter. He's aligned with those people. So it doesn't matter what is true, right? He can win anyhow. That's why it's not in the news, right? But I don't see any way around this issue. There's just no way around it. I don't see any way around it, I don't, to be honest. I don't. How is he going to go around this? Because he also, that's another thing. Ramaphosa also has admitted to a lot of things already. To defend him and what's not, it's too late, to be honest. There's so many things he admitted to. He admitted to the money being there. He admitted to, this money hasn't been disclosed. He already admitted to so many things already. That's not gonna catch up with him. Okay, fine. The person bought with dollars. You agree? Yeah, I agree. But he was buying buffaloes. It's not money of corruption. Okay, cool. We are not allowed to use dollars in the country. Then what? Bro, there's just no way around it. I'm wondering what's gonna happen. I feel like this is something that's gonna follow him after his presidency. So shout out to Julius Malema and EFF, and I forgot the other party that has joined Julius Malema and EFF in persuading the Phala Phala case, because the Phala Phala case was being crashed basically and shut down in parliament because Ramaphosa has numbers to do that. Well, he had numbers to do that. So now they're pursuing the issue in legal way now, using the judiciary arm of government rather than going through parliaments and legislature, So shout out to them for doing that, man. But there's something about this that I wanted to say before I even forget. Guys, people, you do not, as a country, become a Nigeria just overnight. It's a build-up, this thing, to become a Nigeria. Right now, a Nigerian currency is dead. That's not a currency. Where you buy bread for 1,000 and whatnot, that's not a real currency. Let's say, for an example, Naira to Rand today. Let's check Naira to Rand today. Okay, for whatever reason, the computer is taking some time. But the point that I'm trying to make is, as South African, we have this thing where we feel like these things are never going to happen to us. We just see them as far, as things that are not close to us, so we are not involved. You don't become a Nigeria overnight. It's a build-up, this thing. It's all these things separate things happening. You allow someone to get away with a case like that, like Ramaphosa, because it says away also about money in South Africa. Like, right? You let people go away. Sorry to that. You let people go get on with this thing. Okay, let me wait. See, right now, for an example, 1 South African rand is equivalent to 88.55 nairas. So, in other words, if you had 1,000 rands, in nairas you have 88,000.5 thousand nairas, right? That's how bad the currency is in Nigeria. But it didn't wake up. Nigeria didn't get up and have that currency. It's a build-up. And you let these things happen as a country, bruh. You let them happen, bruh. You let Ramaphosa go. You let Zuma there go. You let the Guptas go. You let the Eskom incidents go. You let all those things. Oh, then you compromise what you call what is this? The South African flights. Why am I forgetting our thing now? SAAA. Yeah, is it SAAA? Anyway, the South African flight, the state's enterprise, Transnet, whatever, man. All the state's enterprise. You let them go, right? You let them go. When you let them go, all these things, they build up to making your country a Nigeria, a Zimbabwe. You don't wake up with bread that's cost 1,500 rands. You're not going to wake up with that. You're going to build up to get to that. And as South Africans, the more we keep going to this direction and letting people go with all these things that they're doing, you are making a Zimbabwe. You are creating a Nigeria. You are killing your own currency. You let drugs, everything in South Africa that goes on, you are killing your own currency. That's the truth. These things are build up to that. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. With the load sheddings and all the corruption in all the states' enterprise, South Africa is going to the Nigeria position. It's going to the Zimbabwean position. If South Africans don't work on it and get on the money as quick as possible. Because we let these things happen to us. It's not just by mistake that we get there, that you end up having a Nigeria or a Zimbabwe. Corruption, bro, get you there, bro. Corruption will get you there, bro. That's how it happens. And if we keep letting them go, we're going to get there too as a country. So, shout out to these guys, actually. Someone was saying to me, because I don't know why people keep on pushing on the democracy issue. Because I feel like I've covered this before. You know what I've noted, living in a country like China. Because of their structure in terms of government, I'd rather get things done very quick. Compared to countries like United States and England and South Africa, all those countries whereby people have to debate for 10 years about improving infrastructure. Simple thing as improving infrastructure. People are going to debate forever and not get things done. They're going to fight and argue and what's not forever and not get things done. So that's what I want to say in regards to that, because someone was asking me, that's now that I've lived in China for so long, what is the difference having to live in a country like China that is known as whatever, in terms of being authoritarian, I guess, and then versus a country that is democratic and, as they say, in China, people get things done, bro. Chinese are God, bro. There's no country in the world that can match this, bro. This right here, hologram, bro. You can't touch this, bro. Chinese, hologram, dog. Can't touch Chinese, dog. They're gone. They're just gone, I'm not going to go any much on that, but they're gone. Forget about it. Whereas democracy, as much as it has so many ideals that we want to support and believe in, but bro, I'm not going to lie, they hold a lot back too at the same time. As much as their democracy is a way that we see. But there's so much too that it holds back people arguing over nonsense while people are suffering and real issues are there and happening to their people in the countries. So it is what it is. DJ Sbu Backlash. Yo. DJ Sbu Backlash, I saw that thing. DJ Sbu is a great guy. I just think that was a mistake. I can imagine to him, because let's look at DJ Sbu too and what he's trying to accomplish too for himself and for South Africa. I can imagine too how he was hurt too when he's tried to help someone that he sees on the road as a hustler, as he would call him, and to find that this person is selling Western products. I still don't know why we, as a country, people were more outraged about DJ Sbu's reaction to the incident, right? But at the same time, we are not supporting DJ Sbu, because I feel, to me, this was an underlying and a big issue in that too. Was that you can have a person selling all the Western products in the streets, but not pushing anyone of their own. That says a lot too about us, actually. So when I saw that matter, I saw it in both ways. Understand, yes, Sbu was a little bit out of pocket for his reaction and how he spoke to the guy. This was just hurtful and out of pocket. And the truth is, the Western brands are too big, bruh, to compete against in the space. So if you are going to sell more fire compared to someone selling Coca-Cola, my man, you're going to lose. That's the truth of the matter. But I understand also, mostly from DJ Sbu's aspect or point of view, is, bro, what kind of hustler are you that is not pushing like our product, you know? So I get the incidents in both places, but for me, it's landed more in the terms of why are we only outraged about DJ Sbu and his reaction, which I find to be very reasonable too, given what he's trying to do and his business. So you would hope and wish that South Africans in all corners will sell more fire, as much as they will say they will sell Coca-Cola and all the Powerade and the Western brands. They will push more fire. So that's what I would say in that. I would hope that they would do. So understandable for both sides, you know. But let's not play down DJ Sbu and what was his concern or what he didn't agree with in that moment. He's a human being too. And then the last one. The closer, people. Let's get to work. The closer. Ronnie Nyakale. Yeah, Ronnie Nyakale. So Ronnie Nyakale, yo, bro, this is a legendary actor, bro. Hey, this guy is legendary, bro. Ronnie Nyakale is the original Papa Action, bro. That's Ronnie Nyakale, bro. Right? This guy is Sylvester in the place called home, bro. Hey, this guy was moving. Yo, bro, this guy is probably one of the greatest actors in South Africa, period. One of the best, period. I would count in my top 5 best South African actors of all time. Male, definitely. I will count him on my top 5. This is the original Papa Action. This is Sylvester in the place called home. This is Cosmo. This guy is a brilliant actor. He's that good, bruh. He's so brilliant. It doesn't, to be honest, as much as the pedestal, as far as the pedestal of acting in South Africa, hardly get better than that. You can argue for Menzin Gubane and them. Doesn't get better than that. You know, that guy is that good. Now, the thing about him that was trending and going on is the fact that he is an Uber driver. I'll be honest, I'm not as surprised, because I've said this a lot. I myself, coming from the space of arts, and I've seen a lot, bro, in the space of arts. The truth is, we do not have an industry. We cannot even sustain someone who is as successful as Ronnie Nyakale on screen. Now, who are you when saying, yeah, I'm doing drama? Hey, bruh, we don't have an industry. That's the thing. The industry is just not enough in South Africa. It's not sustainable. The industry of performance of art. This is why all the time artists later on, you fast forward, the person is dead and things are happening. So shout out to him for getting out there and getting getting the bread for the family and himself. So shout out to him for that. Shout out to the guy, bro. And this is not begging anyone on social media. He's getting out there and he's getting it himself. Shout out to Ronnie Nyakale, bro, for doing that. Shout out to him. What can you say? The industry is that bad in South Africa. I've said this so many times. And if these things are happening to big artists like Ronnie, who are you the upcoming kids who are trying to get to the space. Who are they? They can't compete with that shit. That's just the truth of the matter. I feel like I've said enough in regards to the industry. Before, in regards to the industry, we do not have an industry in South Africa for the arts. We don't have that. So might as well forget about it. So shout out to the guy for getting out there and not crying on social media. And I can imagine so many people would wanna also take a cab with him, actually, because he's famous and whatnot, you know. So hopefully that's worked on his advantage too, because people would want that. To be honest with you, when I saw this, I was like, yo, bro, I'm just hoping this is like one of those things, you know, this method actors do when they're preparing for a role. To be honest, that was me. I was like, no ways. But I had to come to reality. This is South Africa, man. South Africa is just like that, you know. I had to accept that, yo, it's possible that this could be happening to this guy. No matter how I see him as a hero, it's possible that this is happening to him, you know. But I hope it doesn't end there. I hope he gets up and get back on screen, bruh. This is one of the greatest, actors on South African screen for ever, you know. But again, shout out to the guy. Feed your family, you know. It is what it is. Shit is not happening in the industry. You're not getting your money. Move however you want to move to get yourself secured and get yourself right, rather than crying foul play. No, shout out to him. And that is the closer. And thank you, everyone. Merry Christmas, people. Thank you for subscribers. Thank you for the likes and comments. And I'm giving 50 Rand airtime for the first 20 people to subscribe, and to not just subscribe, but to comment on this video. I want to close this properly. Yeah, I just want to say, in the last 5 minutes or so, I want to say this. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the page. I'm still working out, obviously, my way, trying to find, you know, how I can deliver better and whatnot. I don't have much time. I'm always busy, and I'm by myself. I live overseas, of course, which makes things harder because I do everything myself. And then I have friends who's helping me. Sbu, thank you, bro, for helping me with editing and everything. So I just want to say thank you to the people who subscribe, and please, guys, press the like button if you've subscribed. Press the like button to support the channel, and you can comment. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas, and thank you for subscribers again. And I am going to give 50 Rand airtime to the first 20 people who are going to comment to this video, right? 50 Rand airtime for data, because data in South Africa is so expensive. My God. Otherwise, if I have less than 20 people who comment on the video, maybe in about a month or so, I am going to give 100 Rand to the people who would have commented that time, right? So like I'm gonna check like in maybe, since maybe the video is going to be dropping very soon, like maybe about the 16th or 20th, the video is going to come out. So around the 23rd, I will check, and I'm going to give away 100 Rand airtime. I'm going to be buying people airtime. So what you have to do is to comment on the video. I'm talking about the original video, by the way, not the shorts. You comment on the full video, on the original video for this episode, which is going to be episode 24. You comment on the full video. You can either write your comments about anything that I spoke about, and then you send your phone number, the details, like the network where you want me to buy you your airtime, and then I'm going to do that. Or if you feel like maybe people are going to take your number and whatnot, you can just send me an email at londingubani@gmail.com. The email will be on the details, obviously, down. You'll see the details there. Yeah, man, I just want to say that, and I'm thankful and grateful for the people who support the channel. So comments there with your phone number, the network provider, and then I'm gonna reply to you and buy you data, man. Thank you. 100 Rand data. I see that there isn't many comments, but first 20 people are gonna get 50 Rand data. Okay, thanks everyone. Thank you.